Sakate, thank you very much for creating time and being part of this with us today. It's so lovely from your busy schedule that you created this time. Thank you.
It's a pleasure to be here. Always nice to be with you.
Thank you. So sweet. So, Sakate, first of all, let me ask you, you wear multiple hats, okay? You're part of the YPO London, Pratham UK, BIMT, the Birla Institute board member, and many, many more. How do you juggle so many hats?
See, for me, it's a matter of commitment.
Okay.
If I make a choice to do something, I want to do it well.
Okay.
And if I've made that choice, I will make time. If I can't do it, I'll just resign. And the main thing is the ability to be able to empower people to do things that they need to do. As I've grown in my position as a leader, I find that the leader is nothing without people.
That's so
And
true.
therefore, if you have empowered people, then things work.
So it's basically authority and responsibility together.
Basically, yeah. Actually, a little more than that. It's not only authority and responsibility, it's also empowerment.
Okay.
So what happens is that, let me give you an example, right? If somebody makes a mistake and the leader blows a stop and blames everything on that person without looking at a pathway to get that thing done,
Sure.
then it'll never be done, or it'll never be done in the manner that it ought to be done.
It'll never be understood also, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So that's why there is a little bit of difference in how I look at empowerment in the position of leader.
Okay, we're talking to Sakate Khaitan, who is a senior partner at Khaitan Legal, who works on corporate M&A, insurance, Anglo-Indian legal advice between India and London. And has founded his firm called Khaitan Legal Associates. That's the next question. You know, there are so many Khaitans in the spray. How do we differentiate ourselves?
It's a difficult one. Well, we're all family, you know. The good part about it is we're all very close. So while we compete, as people, we're very close. And for me, the Khaitan name in my firm, essentially when I left Clyde's and formed it, I was more interested in doing the work and really was not concerned about the name.
Okay.
The name came about because my colleagues said that we need credibility and your name gives credibility.
Which is true.
Lots of confusion.
Yeah,
In
that
fact, I
is-
was once told that we are trying to get you to change your name. I said, why didn't you ask? So yeah, it's 5 Khaitan firms. We are the youngest. Over a period of time, I mean, we are now close to 10 and a half years old.
Okay.
The market is now being able to differentiate us from the other Khaitans.
Okay.
We don't see, the confusion happening too often now. In the beginning, yes, but not anymore.
So I think you built a definite, positioning for yourselves as a new age law firm. Sure. Can you define that?
You're right. I would just say that we're different, and we're different because when I look at law firms, I find that managing partners don't develop leaders. And therefore, in the Indian context, what happens is when the managing partner either retires or is no longer there, firms disappear. So the intent for me is to create a whole lot of leaders who have the management skills and the leadership skills to be able to take a firm forward.
So that's continuity.
It's continuity. So you don't
I think
see
that goes
continuity
with a
here.
lot of service-driven businesses. You know, it's so driven by the name of the person or what the person brings onto the table that the rest of them are solely connected only because of that.
I don't find that in the West. So I've been in London for now 23 years,
Okay.
and I don't see it there. So
Okay.
what's the distinguishing factor? Couple of things. The first is that when I look at India, I find that Indians are prone to making stars.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to go to the same person. And then it becomes an oligopoly, and that person charges whatever they want to charge.
That's true.
Without giving any, giving any opportunity to anybody else. There is a fear that people will leave and therefore take clients with them, right? My view is a little different. My view is that if people have been with me for a long time and they move on, then they must be successful. As far as the firm itself is concerned, the firm needs to provide value to each person in
for
the
that
firm.
person to grow. I think that's very similar to my thought process also. In fact, I feel good when somebody who has left, who's worked with me, has left and has become successful and actually writes back. You know, some of them have actually said the best boss and the best. So it feels good. So you've done something right out there in building them up. And I think the value system is
Absolutely.
very, very important. I think we live in a culture where typically like a law firm, a communication firm, etc., we don't have timelines, right? We have a task, we've got to complete it with a deadline, whatever time it is. But I think appreciating the people who are doing it and also being a part of it. I know that when I used to work in my earlier times, growing up in the agency, if my colleagues were working, I was working with them for them to feel that, hey, you're not alone in it. And I think that brought about a sense of, I think, camaraderie and a little loyalty to work with. So yeah, agree. Values and virtues play a very, very important role. Okay, coming back to some pivotal moments in your life, which has led you to be the person you are.
Yeah, I can actually...
And choose the journey of life that you are in.
Yeah, I can think of 5. So the first one was, why did I do law?
Yeah.
Right. I still remember the day clearly. I was very good at accounts and maths, and I told Dad that I want to become a chartered accountant, and he said that you become the CFO or the company secretary of my companies. There's just no way. That's not happening. So I immediately told him that I'll do law. Now, what happened is that same night, there was a family get together, and Dad got me from across the room, took me to Mr. Pintu Khaitan. I mean, he's my grandfather's first cousin, and said he wants to do law. Pintu Daji said, okay, come tomorrow to the office, and that was it. So, so that was the first pivotal moment to get into the profession.
And it was an acceptance. I think that's good, you know.
Yeah,
it's total acceptance, especially if you come from a family where, you know, you have a journey as a business and everybody expects you to grow. As you said, you're a first generation entrepreneur. So.
Absolutely. So nobody from my direct lineage is a lawyer, and therefore having that opportunity, I've always been very grateful to Pintu Daji for that. 11 years there, I was very, very lucky to have 2 mentors in the firm, Mr. Pramod Khaitan and Mr. Padam Khaitan. I did a lot of work there. And then I just decided that I needed a break. So I applied to 3 MBA institutions, got into 1. And I left for London. And the reason for that was Khaitan and Company did not have a Bombay office. And I clearly felt that West Bengal is not the place where I want to be.
Okay.
And I didn't want to take money from Dad. I didn't have the money. And so I went and did an MBA.
Okay.
And that's what took me to London. That was the second pivotal moment. The third pivotal moment was I was coming back to India, joining one of the larger firms. And Pratibha, either on the day or one day before said, I don't want to leave London. And I opened my bags and stayed back.
Okay.
So joined a very small law firm, ALMT.
Oh, ALMT.
Yeah.
ALMT London. Okay, yeah.
So I was the 7th lawyer. We grew it to, some say 8th largest. We were 120 lawyers at that point. And then Clyde's approached me. That was the 4th pivotal moment, saying that, will you run India for us? A lot of trust and faith. I asked them to merge ALMT with Clyde's. They agreed. And so we merged, and that's what got me as senior equity in Clyde's.
Okay.
So I was with Clyde's for 6.5 years. And the last pivotal moment was me sitting with the managing partner and saying, okay, I don't agree with what you're doing in India. India doesn't work like the West.
With the LMT.
No, we had
Clydes.
LMT had moved on. It was
Okay.
Clydes only.
Okay.
And essentially, I told him that, are you going to do something about it? I had this chat with him in January. July, my partner review, I said, you've not done anything. Are you going to do? He smiled. And I said, here's my resignation.
Wow. Very decisive.
So he said, what are you going to do? I said, I have no idea. Absolutely no idea. So he asked me that, just don't join an English firm. I said, fine. And then I flew down. I talked to my team. I said, you have 3 options. I can join someone else, take you with me. We can open our own, or I can get you employment. I'll call managing partners and get you employment. They took 60 seconds and said, okay, let's open ourselves.
Wow.
So we opened ourselves, and that's how Khaitan Legal came about being.
Interesting. Lovely journey. Lovely story. Yeah. So, so all the partners that are there have been right from Clyde & Law, or there've been a lot of new joinees?
No, there've been a lot of new joinees. Current partners that we've got, there are only 2 that have been with me for a very long time. Okay. The rest have joined either 1 year or 2 years after we.
So they were there for the foundation, at least.
Yeah, while the firm was being created, and then a lot of others joined. I mean, we're now today starting with, I think we were 7 or 8 lawyers at that point. We're now close to 70 lawyers.
Okay. Sakate, you're one of the few people within the lawyer community who I've met who have always been very calm, composed, and, like you said, focused and know. So where does that come from?
So I was not like this. So, while I talked about my journey and the pivotal moments, in my mind, I've always felt that a firm needs to be created that succeeds me, right? And I made several mistakes. So my leaving Khaitan & Company would not have happened had I been what I am today. It would not have happened with ALMT. It would not have happened with Clydes either. And things that didn't work is me actually looking and blaming people for things that were happening around me. I mean, today, if I sit down and tell you exactly what happened, you'd say, yeah, it makes sense. You should have left. But at the end of it, that doesn't work. Things repeat. And that took me to a journey where I started looking inwardly. I said, there's something wrong with me, because the same thing started happening in Khaitan Legal, right? And when I started looking inwardly, I started to realize the blind spots that I had, and things that didn't work for me. And then I started working on myself. Right.
I think the biggest thing is accepting the fact that you had blind spots. A lot of them don't want to even think about it and continue to blame other people for it.
Huge amount. I don't see at all even one situation where something has happened, and I'm not empowered to reach a destination that I've created for myself. To me, when something is not working, it's a breakdown. It's not failure. I get back on the horse and start riding again, and till I reach the destination, or I make a choice saying that I don't want to do it anymore.
Okay.
Rather than blaming circumstances.
I think every problem, I think that's what we discussed last time, every problem has a learning.
Absolutely.
I think it's to accept the learning and take it on from there and make the relevant changes to it.
Absolutely.
So, okay. Interesting. Very, very interesting thought process. First generation lawyers getting it tough, besides the second and the third generation. What's your thought on that?
So it's a matter of sour grapes, because each one has its advantages and disadvantages, right? And the grass is greener on the other side, is my view. Let's look at the advantages of a first generation lawyer, right? No legacy, have significant confidence in myself, build my own network, come through the trenches, lots of empowerment and confidence on what I am able to do without anybody questioning my self-worth.
Absolutely.
On second and third generation, huge shoes to fill. Huge.
Legacy, first of all.
Yeah, legacy. I mean, everybody's comparing me to my dad. Everybody's sort of looking and saying, will I make it or will I not make it? And ultimately, as far as lawyers are concerned, if a person is not good,
It's capability, totally.
it's not going to happen. So the advantage that a second or third generation lawyer has is access to networks.
And building your own networks. I think I think a second generation lawyer would have the same issues as a first generation, ideally, because you have to build your own network and not rely. Because I worked with your father because of what he brought onto the table.
Correct.
Etc. So if you're not bringing anything to the table, why would I want to work with you?
Absolutely. So it's the access that matters, and the
network.
other one, you have to build the network. Now, when I look at India today, there is a significant amount of difference to India when I started practice.
Okay.
Right. When I started practice, people just went to people who they trusted. It was a closed environment. You had draconian laws like FERA, Coffee Posa, etc., which needed a huge amount of confidence and confidentiality. So trust was paramount.
True.
And therefore, a number of firms transitioned hereditarily. But when you look at the larger firms, it never happened. I mean, look at the big four in the 1980s. It was Mullah & Mullah, Crawford Bailey, Kanga & Co. and Gagrat.
Yeah.
They're not existing today.
Yeah.
I mean, they are, but are they where they were? I mean, everything went to them. I mean, they controlled 80% of the market.
So what went wrong?
Managing partners in trusted relationships retired. They didn't train people to take it over. Children didn't fit into their father's shoes. Lack of management ability.
Okay.
I mean, you can name a number of things.
That's true.
So I mean, this debate is completely senseless to me.
I've also, since we work with a lot of law firms, and I think it's there was one which I worked with, had the same, very similar issue, It was a very promoter-driven firm. He wouldn't let go. He had a son, but I think we've done enough of conversations and calls, no agreement. Absolutely, between the father and son on a normal call with all the people on anything. I think they were finally taken over, but still not let go of the fact. And I think if you don't let go, you're not allowing that firm to grow.
Absolutely. So I think it's a red herring in any debate.
So, but I think if you're able to, like taking the case of CJI Chandrachud, when he spoke on a podcast that he only got the journey, though he had the legacy, he had the privilege, he only came on board once his father had moved on. I think if you have the capability and the thing, you can utilize the legacy, right?
Why not? I mean, everybody utilizes some network or the other. Why do people, even first generation lawyers, want to go to Harvard? It's to get the network.
Yeah.
If somebody is born into a network, why should I begrudge them? I mean, it makes no sense to me.
Just build up your skill sets to match it.
Absolutely. And there is no reason why people can't build the networks.
Okay, increasing number of arbitrations and mediations in India. Even the MNCs aren't spared. Why?
So, so there are two reasons for it. The first is, if you look at the court system in India, it's overburdened. It's got almost 5 crore cases pending. Overburden of court system means there is no fast justice. And anything that is commercial or involves money is not considered to be urgent.
True.
Now, if I am a business person, then I'm looking at compounding my money on a year-to-year basis. And if the court is going to take 5, 10, 20 years to decide my case, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
So I will automatically move towards a forum that is quick. Okay. So therefore, arbitrations and mediations. More arbitrations, actually. I'll come to mediations. The second is, with the 96 Act, the new Arbitration Act, as I call it, it's not new anymore, but the ability to challenge an arbitral award has become very narrow. So there is certainty in the decision.
Okay.
Right? So it's quick decision. Some may argue not, but in my view, yes. And certainty of the judgment itself in the appeal process.
Okay.
And there is quick enforcement. So therefore, arbitration works. The second is, as India grows, commerce grows, there's likely to be more disputes.
True.
And if there are more disputes,
There's more need.
Yeah. Third,
I think business is growing, more business is growing,
Absolutely.
more sectors are opening up, and
absolutely.
Interesting.
So there's likely to be more disputes, just the quantum. And then when we come to mediation, I think, till, in my view at least, till the insolvency code came into the books, statute book, nobody wanted to mediate because it was by agreement and people didn't see the value. I mean, arbitration would take 2, 3, 4 years. My cost of capital was 14, 15%. 2 years means I'm getting 30%. Interest was not paid. Cost was not paid. It's a simple way of funding my working capital requirements commercially, right? Now with IBC, effectively, I lose control of my company. So I will mediate, right?
Safeguard.
So incentives have aligned again, right? Second is arbitrators have started giving market rates of interest and costs, which means that there is no point in me going into arbitration, right? So mediation.
Why not look at a middle
settlement?
chapter?
Settlement. I mean, you look at what works and doesn't, and each person has their own view, and whether or not my case is strong, that I will actually succeed.
So you at least try and protect
Correct.
what's yours, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. You've also, you work around in London as well as in India. What are your thoughts on the differences that you feel? And what makes you think that which one's better and what are the challenges?
Okay. So, I'm biased. I am passionate about India.
Yeah, that I know. That you left your family in London and you keep on running around everywhere.
To an end. So it's, I'm biased. But I mean, in England, things are smooth. Okay. When I say smooth, the friction in transaction and interaction is much lower.
Okay.
In India, I find friction to be much, much higher. When it comes to people, people are more accountable and more empowered in London for themselves.
More professional also, and you're right, accountable, because I guess the law out there makes you accountable, right?
I think it's the education system and the family environment.
Okay.
So I'll give you an example, right? I was absolutely amazed as how my colleagues in Clyde's, English colleagues in Clyde's, dealt with dissent. It was an amazing thing to watch. I mean, even if they were angry, they were very calm. They actually understood the other person's concern, stated their own concern, and landed on a position. Right? It wasn't as if throwing emotion all around. In India, it's just the reverse. I mean,
birthright.
If I look at a commercial negotiation, right? I'm doing an M&A, and I have an English firm on the opposite side. He say, here are the issues. I'll say, here are the issues. Here are my concerns. These are the these are the things that actually I'm not going to move on. And the negotiation is very, very, very professional, as I call it. I mean. And it's some amount of showcasing yourself, but not to an extent where it derails the transaction. In India, it starts with showcasing and basically an argument on everything that happens. It's changed dramatically in the last 10 years that I've started doing a lot more work here. It's sort of shifted, but not yet. So what do I put that down to? When I look at even my family and I look at children in the family, right? older people generally make decisions. I mean, older people are asked before there's some
Absolutely.
support always
Respect
required.
and support, yeah.
There's some support always required, and the joint family system perpetrates that. And when there is emotion flying all around, then people accept it, right? Um, and so it just goes into the workplace, then it goes everywhere else, right? Another example, abroad, the respect for human life is very high.
That's true.
I mean, for human beings, not even life. You go to a restaurant or anywhere else, the person serving is treated with respect.
I think a lot of people, even during COVID, moved on abroad, of course, for different reasons. Also, some of them who I interacted with did say that the quality of life is so much better. It's, of course, you don't have your family, you don't have your people, but at times you've lived everything around out here. But an improvement on the quality of life?
I don't agree with that.
No?
No. I don't, because the life is different. Okay. So let me tell you what is really good in London, because that's where I spent most time. I can walk. There's public transportation is very good. I can do things myself. There's less friction. My wife puts it aptly. I can walk. I can go and collect my coffee. There's a high street. Everything works perfectly for her, right? In India, I cannot do without a driver. It takes more time on the phone to get something done. And there's a lot more friction.
Okay.
Right? So when I go to London, I do a lot of things on my own. But in India, I don't do anything on my own. And there's no friction anyway. So it's that for me. That,
Okay.
if I want to be in India, I need to do things like India does. And if I want to be in London, I need to do things as London does. I mean, there are other things that doesn't work in London. I have to cook my food. I have to wash my clothes. I have to iron my clothes.
So you're basically accountable for everything that you
everything
do out
on my
there.
own. I mean, out
Which is
here,
good, which is good also, and you have your privacy.
Yeah.
Do it.
Absolutely. But out here, it's different. But I have that luxury. I mean, when I talk to my English friends, they say, I mean, in India, you live like kings and queens.
Yeah. Why would you want to come and live out here?
Yeah. Can you imagine a family having 2 babies, let's say twins? One of the people have to sacrifice their career.
Yeah, that's true.
In India, that's not necessary.
Because you have enough of people who look after them, the
Yeah.
family,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then you say that quality of life. I mean, consider me sacrificing my career and basically then regretting it all my life, saying that I had to do that for my children, and the
Okay, if you
children
put it
moving
in
out.
that perspective, I agree. But what I meant by quality of life, I meant accessibility, the way you function. You have your own space.
that.
You can do things. That's what I meant. I'm
get
not
that.
saying okay.
I
all
get
right.
that. But that's too narrow a prism to
path.
look at
Okay,
it.
all
When you
right.
look at life, I look at it wholly.
Completely. Okay.
What works and what doesn't work.
Of late, there's been news of a draft bill of entry into foreign law firms into India. I think this is the second time it's come up. The feedback that I got earlier, there were some big names who tried to stop it, but it's come back again. Your thoughts on it?
See, I'm very open to foreign law firms coming in. Okay. Right? Will it cause disruption in my firm? 100%. Right? But why not? There's going to be significant opportunity coming up for people, for younger lawyers. And why shouldn't there be? At the end of it, when I look at it from an India context, India will grow.
Yeah, you have options. I think that's important.
Absolutely.
I think you learn.
Absolutely. So I welcome it. And why are other firms not so happy about foreign law firms coming in? First and foremost is people will leave.
Better pay scales,
Opportunity.
better opportunities, better clientele.
I don't think it's pay scale, it's opportunity.
Yeah? Okay.
Because, as a partner of a firm, even in a foreign law firm, having been senior equity, I have to earn my own living. Nobody's going to pay me for something. It's not that I don't have to originate business and do it myself. That is on me. So it's not just a cakewalk that a foreign law firm comes in and I just join a foreign law firm and they're going to pay me a ton of money, whether I add value or not. It's not going to happen that way. But the larger law firms will lose critical teams.
Yeah.
And therefore the fear, because the monopoly will be busted.
I think it's a healthy thing. You'll have more, like I said earlier, more options, more capabilities,
Absolutely.
more, I think why shouldn't companies be given? Why is it that everybody, there is a US case happening, you go to a US firm, you have options right out here. And I think the law firms also have understood, I think, which they pushed it for, that there is so much happening in India right now.
Absolutely. But, again, while a lot is happening in India, I don't see a deluge of foreign law firms coming in for the reasons I stated before.
Okay.
It's all profitability. At the end of it, there's an investment required, and I need
Sure.
a return on investment. And at the end of it, each law firm will look at whether or not it works for them. I know several who said that we'll never come. It doesn't work.
Yeah, you work with a lot of companies who would like to invest in India. So I'm
absolutely.
sure you would have that
Absolutely.
knowledge.
And more than that, look at 91, right? When India opened up, you had Rahul Bajaj. I remember reading his quote saying that we shouldn't open up. India will completely get obliterated and manufacturing capability will go. And as competition came in, we moved ahead from Fiat and Ambassador to every other car possible.
Absolutely.
And the
And a lot
consumers
of them
were
are now producing in India.
Exactly. And everybody upped their game. Look at what Mahindra is doing. I mean,
they're doing fabulously. I think
Look
their
at the
numbers
new
are just
car.
growing.
It's
Yeah.
just unbelievable. Would that have happened without competition?
No.
I doubt it.
It's true.
So it
I
ups
think
the
it
game.
gives you also the whole part to think
Yeah.
beyond. Look at what's working. Look at what's happening. Maruti at one time was the company,
Yeah.
but I don't think they've upgraded themselves or something in terms of to match up to what they are.
Absolutely.
You have other firms which have come. Mahindra has done that fabulously. I've got
Absolutely.
to say that. Okay, interesting. Such. Okay, to aspect of, I think it's just not just the business aspect. I think how do you maintain your mental balance between running around, traveling, I think 20 days in a month, and work, personal life?
So again, it's a matter of choice, right? So I did 3 or 4 things I do. One is that I am very, very organized, and I'm not organized myself. So I have people who organize me, right? And both of them are just unbelievable people, Usha and Swati. They keep me organized.
Okay.
The second is I choose what to make time for and not make time for. If I don't want to do something, or if I cannot do something, I will say I don't want to do it. And the third is that I have to be physically fit and mentally fit. So, both exercise as well as meditation is key for me.
Okay. I know you start your day early too.
I do.
And
yes.
you started it much earlier in life, right?
Yes, I did.
You tell me that a little part of it, I think, which you shared with me earlier. Your mother encouraged
it's
you
my
into
mother.
it.
Yeah. So, mom is actually both mom and dad. They're just such amazing people. So, mom is somebody who has never broken a relationship with anybody, even if she's got hurt. And that amount of spirituality for somebody,
Wow.
and to be introduced since birth into that ecosystem is special. I can take it back to that.
So the genes.
I don't know if it's the genes. I think it's the upbringing.
Okay.
And for dad, he's always said that run after knowledge, money follows. And that's
beautiful.
been my mantra
Motto.
from day one.
I think that's so true. I think getting your path very clear and understanding and doing it in a manner which is focused and with clarity, I think you will have. Knowledge is always something which the more you consume, it's never enough.
Absolutely.
So I think, Okay, so you started meditation, like you told me, at the age of 6, right?
Yeah, 5 or 6.
Yeah.
I started
Wow.
doing puja at that time, and then I switched to pure meditation last 4 5 years. So the day I don't meditate, it
Yeah, you told
doesn't
me
go
your
well.
office is a chaos and they know when you don't meditate. No, it does. It brings in a lot of clarity. It brings in focus. It brings in an element of, knowing exactly what you want to do out of it. And I think that also helps you in becoming a better human being when you're at work.
Absolutely. I think it's like being able to, when something is not working for me and I meditate, it's like watching a movie of myself of that scene repeating and being able to see what I did or didn't do for it not to work. So for me, it's always looking to grow, which is key.
That brings to the subject. I spoke to a lot of young law students, so when you're choosing a law firm to work with and all, so they have of late started using the word toxicity, that this firm is toxic and this firm, gives me a learning. So he says, we don't mind working with an average firm as long as we learn more and it's not just an A-grade firm. I think this was, if you had asked students about 5 to 7 years back, it wouldn't have been the same.
Okay. So, we as lawyers work in a very high pressure environment,
Absolutely.
right? So the question is, what is learning? Part of learning in life is to be able to deal with adversity. And I've heard the word toxic being used a number of times. It's not uncommon. And if I put myself in the position of an associate, mistake is made, fear of loss of client and reputation, and the partner effectively doesn't give the associate a chance, and literally, other than anything else,
Yeah.
the feeling is that I've died. I mean, somebody is
I've
really
messed up really bad.
killing me, right? And from a partner's perspective, I mean, you're being paid a salary, you need to do your work. And if the client goes away and there is fear that where do I get my revenue from and pay your salary? So I get the associate's position and I get the partner's position. The point for me is there needs to be some sort of balance between the two. Plus, if you look at today what is happening, right? People say, I don't want to be treated like an object. But at the end of it, nobody has loyalty either.
That's true.
I mean, you move for 10,000 rupees more.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I think they have the time frame. That's the generation. That's the Gen Z.
I don't have a problem with that. But
Yeah.
it comes with certain things. And then when it comes with certain things where there is a demand of responsibility, and if you've made a mistake, don't argue, and you're going to get sort of pulled up. You have people coming and saying that you shouldn't have told me like that. I said, how do you expect me to tell you that you made a mistake? I told you made a mistake. So your tone was not right. I said, okay, I'm a bit upset that you made a mistake. What do I do with the tone? He said, no, I'm going to leave. I said, okay, I apologize for the tone. You stay back. And then suddenly the next day the person comes and says, I've got offers. HR, somebody contacted me. I'm going for 10,000 rupees more. I'm saying, okay.
So what's the use of... You're trying being nice. You're trying to mediate. You're trying to do everything and still...
But that doesn't mean that people behave in that manner. I'm not justifying it. I'm just saying that look at where that tone is coming from, right? The language that, sometimes my generation, people using the language that these guys are very short-sighted. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I really don't believe that. It's, we were different. My father told me that you're completely short-sighted. You don't know what you're doing. I'm telling that to the next generation. Yeah. Why? Isn't it? I need to stop and just think, okay, what drives them? What is it that they're looking for? Can I provide it? If I can't provide it, they should go to wherever they can provide it. Now, the issue is that you have a bunch of people looking for what they want, and they don't know what they want.
Yeah.
And they keep jumping firms. Now,
Clarity
that
is
does
not
not work for them. And then it results in, okay, it's not my fault. It's toxic.
Okay, take back to...
I'm generalizing,
No, you can.
right? So there are issues where I've also read that certain things ought not to have been done.
Yeah, I know, because I've seen that, you work till 2, 3 in the morning, then 8 in the morning, you're back again. And it is. I'm not saying the job doesn't demand it, but I think there is a certain amount of compassion allowed.
It's required, but from both, it's
Both the
required.
sides.
It's
I'm not
required.
saying, but look at the Gen Z. That's the way they are. Can
Yeah,
you change
I
them?
agree.
No, we know what we're getting into, right? I think, as you said correctly, which I've also learned, is not everybody can be changed, but you need to accommodate yourselves to work around that, right?
So it's easier to change myself than somebody else,
Yeah,
is what I
agree.
believe.
I totally am
So
in it.
I have a lot of respect for Gen Z.
Okay.
Lot of respect. They when they put their mind to it, they're just amazing people.
Yeah, they have that alertness, quickness,
Yeah.
proactiveness, thinking, and their creative thinking capabilities are brilliant. I'm not saying
Absolutely
that, but
amazing. Absolutely amazing.
okay, give me one assignment of yours which is really challenging for you, and where you thought there were a lot of questions in your mind.
When you say questions, what do you mean?
I mean, in terms of delivery, in terms of success, whether you'd be able to do it. It was a challenge, right?
So, the most challenging assignment that I probably had is the creation of a fund.
Okay.
The challenge was to get the fund up and running in 30 days. And we were looking at coordinating with lawyers in almost 25 jurisdictions.
Wow.
Right. And the client was highly demanding. That was one point in time where I thought, okay, will we be able to manage this? But at the end of it, I found that if the team is working well, and as a leader of the team, that is my job. No assignment is very difficult.
Okay.
I've just come to believe that the most difficult assignment is where the client is dissatisfied and becomes very difficult to deal with. No other assignment is difficult.
Okay.
There are assignments that I find difficult. The assignment is not difficult, right? For example, divorce.
Yeah.
I had a point in time where I was doing this, mid 1990s, and this girl who we were representing every day, 4:30 to 6:30, sat in my office crying. Every day. And she'd go on about what was happening in her home, and after the first week, I had to work. And so I used to say yes and then blank her out. And that was very difficult for me. That was one that was very difficult because very emotional.
That's true.
The second most difficult assignment that I did was criminal, right? Where incarceration was clearly going to happen. And then dealing with the person being incarcerated and the family. And that journey, of course, the person was acquitted, but having that sword on the head and living in that fear with them.
Because you're affecting so many lives.
With them was very difficult. So for me, the most difficult assignments are where there is a significant amount of emotion involved. It is not the work.
Yeah, but it does. You're right. I think what I hear, a friend of mine who's a divorced lawyer, she says that at times there's the unreasonable aspects of it, which just keep on. And if you just look at it from a practical point of view, you can get things sorted. But no, we want the worst of it. We want this much, we want that much, and it's just a never end of it. And he says that they don't realize the people they're affecting. with the whole thing. It's not them. I think you're two people moving away from it, but look at the lives you're affecting. Yeah, so
That's the tough part of it.
that's the tough part. So you don't do you still do?
Very
You don't
rare.
do criminal.
Very rarely.
Yeah.
So I'll get involved in strategy, etc. But there are people within the firm who do it.
Okay. All right. So that's why corporate companies are easier to be handled as
It's money
such.
involved at the end of it.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, I think let's come to a couple of final questions. What's your giveaway to young students who want to become lawyers and some advice for them?
I don't think I'm capable of advice, but I can tell them a life lesson that I've learned. And it's a share. And the share is that a career in law is not quick. When I graduated, I joined when I was 18 years old. People join us when they're 21, 22. They have a practice of almost 60 years in front of them. And the foundation is the first years.
Absolutely.
And so knowledge is key. The amount that I can learn about the law and what can be done within the realm of law and advise clients to solutions, that is key. And if the foundation is weak, then the balanced career doesn't work.
Growth gets affected.
It doesn't work. It just doesn't work.
Okay, that's for you, law students. Thank you very much, Sakate. As always, a pleasure.
No, it's a real
Thank
pleasure.
you.
Thank you for having me.